In this ruined world, Anna lives alone on a farmhouse with only her dog as her companion. Whenever she goes to the abandoned city to collect supplies, she completely covers her body and carries an oxygen tank because the air there has become poisonous, although the valley where she lives is still safe. After returning home, she carefully cleans herself to make sure no radiation remains on her body, and at night her dog sleeps beside her. Most of her days are silent and repetitive, filled with taking care of farm animals, fixing broken fences, and checking traps in the forest. One day, she notices a car on the road and becomes curious, but her dog senses danger, so they both hide in the grass and watch a man step out wearing a radiation suit. He gathers his supplies and walks away, and Anna, shocked to see another human alive, quietly follows him. The man checks the air with a device, removes his helmet when it seems safe, and then takes off his suit to bathe in a nearby stream. But Anna rushes out to stop him, warning that the water is poisoned. Seeing the gun in her hand, the man panics and points his own gun at her. But Anna raises her hands and repeats her warning. He runs back to his car, tests the water, and realizes she was right. And soon his condition worsens as he starts vomiting and desperately looks for his medicine injection. Shaking, he approaches Anna and begs her to inject him. And although she feels afraid and cautious, he throws his gun to the ground and promises not to harm her. Trusting him, Anna gives the injection and offers to take him to her home, where he explains that he must take this medicine daily and that if he dies, his body must be burned. At her house, Anna washes his body thoroughly with clean water and then helps him to the bed because he is too weak to walk. The next morning, she goes back to collect his belongings and finds photographs of him standing beside a woman, hinting at the life he once had before the world was destroyed. Anna continues to take care of him. Every day, she checks his temperature, feeds him properly, and gives him his medicine on time. At night, when his body shakes with fever and the bed trembles, Anna's sleep disappears. Sometimes she spends the entire night placing a wet cloth on his forehead. Once exhausted, she falls asleep beside him, and when she wakes up, there is only one thought in her mind. He must get better. She goes to a small chapel nearby and plays the organ, as if praying for her wish to be heard. After a few weeks, John slowly starts to recover. He can now get out of bed, although Anna still has to support him while walking. As they walk, Anna tells him that her father used to say this valley would save them, which is why they stayed here, but one day her whole family left, probably to search for other survivors, and never returned. John becomes thoughtful, unable to understand how this valley stayed safe when the rest of the world was destroyed, and the mystery begins to disturb him. Anna senses his confusion, but brushes it away with a soft smile and a hug. The next morning, John sees Anna working alone in the fields, doing everything by hand. He goes to the library and reads about old farming methods, then comes back to her. He is still too weak to help physically, but offers advice. Anna explains that the tractor has no fuel and the pumps do not work because there is no electricity. John tells her that the pumps can also be operated manually. Anna runs to an old petrol station, and when she finds fuel, happiness shines on her face for the first time. From a distance, John watches her through the scope of his gun as she drives the tractor and the dog runs behind her. That night, before dinner, Anna prays before eating. John silently watches her and then softly says that when everything ended, he was in a government bunker, working as a researcher. He explains that he left the bunker because it felt suffocating and because he was searching for something that felt like real life. The topic of the photographs comes up, and Anna asks if the woman was his wife. John only replies that she was not his wife. At bedtime, Anna leaves her room, door open for the first time. John notices it, but still goes back to his own room. The next day, Anna goes fishing at the pond and even swims a little. John watches her from the shore, and their eyes meet several times. When she returns, they cook the fish together. Anna explains that the pond is connected to the underground source that fills their well. In winter, it freezes, and during that time, her generator broke down. John checks the generator and finds that the engine is completely burned out. He tells her that it is very old and cannot be repaired easily. Then John gets an idea, and they both go to the waterfall. After watching the flow, John says that they can build a water wheel there to generate power and run the generator again. However, for that, they would need a lot of wood, and he suggests breaking the chapel to use its materials. Anna immediately refuses because her father built that chapel, and she believes it has protected her. John argues that maybe her father left it for them to rebuild life, but Anna does not agree. The next morning, Anna gets busy with her daily work, while John starts repairing old machines. Later, he goes to an abandoned market near the road to collect supplies. When Anna reaches there, she finds John completely drunk, throwing boxes around. That night, in anger, John pushes her against the wall. Frightened, Anna runs into her room. The next day, John goes to collect eggs from the farm, but finds nothing. Feeling guilty, he apologizes to Anna. A few days later, Anna goes back to the chapel to play the organ. While playing, she feels that someone is watching her. She steps outside to check, but no one is there. When she returns to the farm, she angrily confronts John, but he says he never went there. That evening, after dinner, they grow closer to each other, but John suddenly stops and goes to his room. A few minutes later, he comes near Anna's room. Seeing him, Anna removes her dress, but John asks her to put her clothes back on. Anna feels hurt and disappointed. John tells Anna that he needs some time. The next morning, Anna says that he can take the chapel if he wants, but John refuses because he does not want to hurt her again. A few days later, Anna is checking her traps in the forest when her dog suddenly runs toward the hills. She follows him and finds a stranger there named Caleb. With his hands raised, he tells her not to be afraid and says that he has only come to ask for water. Anna brings him back to the farm, but when John sees him, he almost shoots him. Anna steps in and stops him. John immediately checks Caleb with a radiation detector. Caleb admits that he had stolen some eggs. He explains that he used to work in a mine and survived the disaster because he was underground at that time. He says that he is now heading south and only wants permission to stay for one night. The device shows slight radiation, but Caleb says he feels weak and has already vomited, so John agrees to let him stay. Caleb starts setting up a tent, but Anna invites him to stay inside the house instead. During lunch, Caleb prays with Anna and says that he never thought he would survive such a long journey. He then shares some stories from the road. He explains that his companions did not abandon him. When one man tried to go outside, everyone panicked, fearing that radiation would enter. The argument became so intense that the man killed everyone and then himself. Anna feels sorry after hearing this and says it is very sad. Later, Anna shows Caleb around the house. After that, John gets angry and argues with her, asking why she's getting so close to a stranger. Anna replies that he does not understand how difficult it is to live alone. John then confesses that he once killed a boy who might have been her brother, and he breaks down crying. Anna simply tells him that it is okay. Sometime later, John and Caleb go out together to hunt. On the way, John and Caleb talk about how they once heard on a radio transmission that there might be a community somewhere in the south. Caleb wants to go there, but John does not believe that anyone could still be alive. Soon, they spot a large turkey bird and begin chasing it. During the hunt, John tells Caleb about his idea of building a water wheel. Later that night at dinner, Caleb brings up the water wheel again, which makes the atmosphere uncomfortable. He says that they can get wood, but they do not have proper tools to cut trees, and then he suggests that the chapel is their only option. After some hesitation, Anna agrees. The next day, all three of them begin dismantling the chapel together. While working, Anna and Caleb exchange glances, and John notices everything. Eventually, they manage to build the water wheel as a team. One day, they go together to collect cables from old poles to complete the generator connection. Meanwhile, Anna goes alone to the chapel site and becomes emotional. Caleb joins her and tells her that his father once wanted to become a priest, but gave it all up because of alcohol. He says that he stayed away from church for years, but his faith never disappeared, and that maybe they were chosen to start over. For the first time, Anna feels that someone truly understands her. When they return, John's jealousy is clearly visible in his eyes. That night, John tells Anna that maybe she should be with Caleb because she seems to be looking for someone he can never be. Anna is confused and does not understand why John is suddenly pushing her away, but John says that everything is fine. As time passes, work on the water wheel continues, and life slowly becomes more difficult for Anna. Caleb puts on his protective suit and enters the radiated water to work. Their hard work finally pays off, and at night, they celebrate together. In excitement, they jump into the pond. However, seeing Anna and Caleb growing closer makes John feel lonely. On the way back, John breaks down and tells Anna that he loves her, but she remains silent. Later, Anna goes to John's bed, but he falls asleep immediately. Feeling tired and emotionally exhausted, Anna quietly gets up and goes to Caleb, and the two grow close. The next morning at breakfast, Caleb gently touches Anna's head. She feels uncomfortable and leaves the table. After that, John and Caleb decide to complete the remaining work without Anna, though they still keep talking about her. John asks Caleb if he wishes he had never come there. Caleb replies that without John, the water wheel would never have been completed. He says he does not want to leave and may stay there forever. That afternoon, Caleb wears the suit again and enters the radiated area to install the final part. Soon, the water wheel starts working. As Caleb tries to climb back up, he slips. John quickly pulls the rope and saves him. But when Caleb reaches the top, he slips again. John holds the rope tightly and, for a moment, thinks about letting go, but he does not. After some time, John returns to the farm alone. Anna comes to apologize, but John interrupts and tells her that Caleb has left to look for the southern community. She cannot believe it and runs into the forest to search for him, but he is nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, John completes the final wire connection, and electricity finally lights up the farm. When Anna returns, she sees that John has placed the organ near the farm's dam. She sits down and begins to play it. John listens quietly, and the story ends there.